failure is?
No. When I draw and it looks a bit weird or off shape, I will wait a few days and after that I'll look back to the drawing and I'll just redraw it.
I think the first time I failed in something was when I was in my high school. Yeah. And it was the day where I received my SPM result. And I was never really a person who's really into study. You know, I always do the different thing. I bunk my class most of the time, skip class, and do other things, you know, like hang out with friends instead of studying, and never really thought about what am I going to do in my future, never really had a plan or an occupation in mind. The result that I have only allowed me to go into a private U, and I don't come from a very well-to-do family as well. When I got the result and my dad, I didn't even have the, I would say, I didn't have the bravery or balls to face my dad. So immediately I got the result, I head back home. And I head back home, I remember vividly, I was on my bed, I was crying nonstop, not knowing what am I going to do next. It took me a while to have the balls to have the bravery to kind of go to my dad and tell my dad, hey, this is what I've gotten. And my dad told me, like, it's expected of you.
I really wanted to go to this other school because apparently they had like better, facilities and stuff when it came to, mass communication. A lot of people think that because it's a new school, it's not as good. I let everyone else's opinion and judgment just get to me. My sisters and stuff are like really academically inclined, so they went to all the good schools. I felt like I kind of failed myself because I always had like this sort of like 10-year plan, right? And I felt like I really just completely destroyed my own plan and failed my younger self.
I think when I started becoming more vocal about like advocacy or like queer issues, that's when I felt like I was a lot more scrutinized, especially in an environment in school, at home, where it was a lot more conservative. So I felt like I failed to be able to meet people's expectations in terms of conforming to societal norms, in terms of living up to what, like, say, a good child or a good student should look like. That was a very, like, difficult period where I felt like I failed to be able to meet people's expectations, failed to be able to be someone who could be respected in society. Presentably, I don't like conform to like gender, like binary gender expressions. So like mostly like in Chinese I would hear terms like 不男不女, which means like not a girl, not a guy, but in a derogatory way. A lot of criticisms like why don't you want to grow your hair out? Why are you like influencing like young kids? Why are you trying to spread these ideals? I was so isolated from everyone and anything. I didn't know where I could seek like say like help or like how I could respond to these things. So a lot of it was just me burying myself in my thoughts. Yeah, and because of that like feeling of being outcasted, I just withdrew socially as well.
The podcast that I do it's the SG Boys. It's an LGBTQ plus teen podcast, which is a risk in Singapore where men are criminalized for sex with each other in public or in private, and there are a ton of trickle-down effects, including like no positive portrayals of LGBTQ plus people in mainstream media and among other things, right? I thought I was out of the closet and I thought I was good. I am ready to just blaze through. These are the things that I'm very passionate about and I'm just going to run all the way to the front line without realizing, now having done the podcast for 2 seasons, faced the backlash, the unexpected backlash, dealing with the repercussions of how that will affect my loved ones, like my mom's career, my dad's career, all these things that I didn't think of.
Thank you. This one looked like my own mark to me.
kind of ASMR-y, hey? Most exciting, I became an aunt. I was very involved as an aunt, so I'd stay over. I still babysit every Wednesday, and it's the most rewarding thing ever. You know, because I'm the youngest in my family, so I never had to worry about like a younger sibling, whatever. So I was so excited when she finally came. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be the best aunt ever. It's gonna be great.
Eat ice cream, playing with my mommy and papa, going to sleep, watching TV, and that's all. Wait.
Over the weekend, I came out to my parents as non-binary, and like when I was doing that, I really didn't know how they would react, cause like when I came out to them as like bisexual just 5 years ago, the reaction wasn't fantastic. They didn't immediately were able to switch to using like they them pronouns, or like stop referring to me as like their daughter or things like that. But like they acknowledge my identity.
The thing about me writing compos is like I always spell something wrong. So then if I like rarely have any spelling errors, I'll be very happy even though my mark is like isn't the best.
I remember everyone was sitting in the crowd, and when my name was announced, they mentioned the first class honor student. And that was, I can see from afar, my parents were the only one that stood up and so happy. In fact, my dad actually cried.
So the first one is I slept with the door closed, which was just a couple of nights ago. And this is a big deal for me because I'm actually like at 31 years old, still afraid of the dark. So like I always sleep every night with the door open and the toilet light outside on, just so that I can kind of like dash out if I need to. So it's like a childhood fear of mine. So that I'm proud of.
I just broke my rib, but it's okay. Just like a crack, but never just cut into pieces. This is a bone, and this is only my bones, okay? And crack, it's just like this, okay? Understand?
Basically, I wallowed in that feeling for a good month or so, which is way too long if you ask me.
I raised the fader, but I didn't turn on the mic. Hey, how's it going? Silence, silence, silence. Oh my god, that's amazing. Silence.
For my singing abilities, I just like to sing. I think my voice is kind of nice. No thanks.
I don't know, I guess I like to do a lot of things. I'm kind of like a master. Wait, what is that called again? What's that saying? Jack of all trades, master of none.
It reminds me of the great things that I have been doing, even though it could be small.